All right, now I want to get into how to close FSBOs. If you don't know how to handle objections, you will lose almost every FSBO you work with, not because you didn't do a good job, but because you didn't finish. So let's start with this. Most agents don't lose the listing at the presentation, they lose it at the close because they never actually ask for the business. They go through everything, they tour the home, they build the rapport, they show their marketing, and they say, all right, let me know what you think, call me later, and they leave. That is one of the biggest mistakes you can make. You have to close every single time. Do not be mistaken. Okay? Here's the exact close. I'm going to give it to you. It's simple. I'd be honored to represent you in the sale of the home. Are you ready to get the process started by signing the paperwork today? That's it. It's simple, it's direct, it's confident. Now understand this. Most of the time, they're not going to say yes right away. Sorry, that's normal. That's where objections come in. And objections are not a bad thing. Objections mean they are thinking and that they are engaged and that they are considering it. Now, there are two main objections you're going to hear most often. So let's break them down. The first objection I always hear, and the one that most objections boil down to, is I don't want to pay a commission. This is the most common one, and most agents handle it wrong. They start defending their commission, they start explaining percentages, they start testifying or justifying themselves. Don't do that, okay? You need to reframe the conversation because they don't actually care about commission, right? They care about what they walk away with. So here's exactly how you handle this. You say, hey, I totally understand wanting to make the most amount of money from the sale of your home. Now they feel heard, and you're also reframing a little bit. Then you say, most for sale by owners actually sell for about 8% less on average, even after paying a commission when they don't use an agent. Now you've shifted the way they think, and then you're going to ask them, let me ask you, if I take all the risk, handle all the marketing, and do all the work, and I can get you what you want to walk away with, do you care how much I get paid? And of course, they're going to say no. Then you say, perfect. The good news is I take all the risk. And I only get paid if I bring you an offer you're happy to accept. So there's literally zero risk for you, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. That's it, guys. You don't argue. You didn't defend. You just reframed. Okay? The second most common objection that I hear, and this one is kind of a smokescreen, but they will say, we want to try on our own. And this sounds real, but most of the time, like I said, it's just a smokescreen. Because if someone could get a better result with less effort, they would. I promise you. So here's how you're going to handle it. You're going to say something like, hey, I totally understand wanting to try it on your own. Then you're going to ask them, let me ask you a question. When you see a home that's been sitting on the market for a long time, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, what do you think about that home? And they're going to say, there must be something wrong with it. Then you say, exactly. The sooner we get your home on the market properly and start generating activity and offers, the more you're likely to make. It's just human psychology. When something sits, it loses perceived value. Then you're going to bring it all together. You're going to say, so, would you agree that perceived value affects the sales price? Now you've shifted their thinking again. The framework, and this is important, every objection follows the same structure. Understand, reframe, share information, close again. You show them you understand, you shift how they think, you give them the info, and you ask again. And this is key. You always, always close again every single time, because if you don't ask, you'll never know what's really holding them back. Now, one more thing, don't overdo it. You close once, you handle the objection, you close again. If they still aren't ready, you don't sit there and fight, because the most important thing is rapport. So here's your takeaway from this video here. Always close. Handle objections with confidence, reframe instead of arguing, and always bring it back again at least one more time for the close, because the agent who asks for the business wins. The agents who don't, well, they lose.